What do you say, guys? Tonight we're gonna, this is a small channel, and if you're new here and you just saw the little YouTube tag, this channel is here to offset some of the BS channels that you see on YouTube. Don't call any particular channel out, but this channel was started because in my world, when I went to YouTube looking for things, I just saw infomercials, if that makes sense. I'm a guitar player, okay? I'm a woodworker during the day. I program CNC machines, and I do one-off custom stuff at work. If it's a little different, usually I'm the one that does that, if that makes sense. And when I got on YouTube, I just wanted information. I didn't want an infomercial. If I didn't know how to do something, YouTube is great at just typing in how to intonate your guitar. 50,000 videos on how to intonate your guitar. How to replace tuning keys. YouTube. 50,000 videos on replacing tuning keys. There's a tremendous amount of good information on YouTube. I'm trying to do that on the good side. So I did not play the guitar when we started the stream. Why did I not do that? Because technically the guitar is really not ready to play. I've done the very basic, okay? When I say basic, I mean basic. I put the first two strings on it. I just lightly adjusted the bridge and kind of took it from there, if that makes sense. I was trying to get it to the playable state, before the stream started. Just not quite enough time. So what I want to do now is kind of adjust my microphones here. I'm going to bring this one out, swing it around, and we are actually going to go to the camera you see right there. Okay, hopefully the audio won't be too screwy. I am going to move this one a little bit. So since I have two mics out here, Linnell is micless. I didn't want to give her an SM57. We tried that once before, and it just didn't work too well. So here is our project guitar. This started out life as a Firefly, and I'm not going to down this instrument. This was one of the guitars that I received from Guitar Gardens that I really liked. I liked the way this guitar played. I liked the feel of the guitar, and the overall fit and finish on the guitar was really good. Now, issues I had, if you want to go back and watch that review, it's been some time. If you're not new to the channel and you've been a subscriber for a while, I actually did 3 videos on this guitar. We redid the neck and all the frets, and I redressed all the ball-end frets. Did a tremendous amount of work. The best work that I could do at the time, because I try to get better. Every guitar you do, you may not realize it, but your little brain remembers things. Like, everyone makes mistakes. As you're working on the guitar, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or maybe I should have done this before I did this. Everyone's workflow is different. That's why if you go back and watch my fret living videos, I try to show a bunch of different ways of accomplishing the exact same thing. Do I have one preferred method? I guess I do. It really depends on the instrument. Sometimes I'll just look at it and my little squirrel brain will go, this is how I'm going to do it. And it may be a little different than I did in the last one, if that makes sense. But it gives you information. You can see different ways of doing it and pick which way you want to do it. If it doesn't work for you, pick a different way. I think I got 3 or 4 different ways that you can approach fret leveling with all types of tools, even if you have the bare minimum tools. But this was one of the really, really good ones. So I really wanted to take this guitar. This was $180, I think, and I'm pretty sure it was under $200 shipped. I think it was $169 or $179 for the guitar at the time, and at the time it was like $24 shipping. This was one of Firefly's, in my opinion, this was a hit. This was a great guitar. Typical, you're buying a budget instrument, okay? Was that instrument a good instrument in its stock form? The tuning keys felt okay. The hardware on the guitar felt okay. The nut was cut okay. If you go back and watch the review, it's been so long ago I don't even remember, so I might, if I contradict myself, it's what I learned taking this guitar apart. The only issue that I know it had, I had one string that I could not get into intonation. The bridge here was fixed, okay? And it had a little screw in the back here, and it had what I call a knife edge saddle. You come to a point with a groove cut in it, and the string went over that, and it allowed you to move it back and forth, okay? I maxed the adjustment out on the stock bridge. It was very, very close, okay? Would anyone ever really pick up on it? No, because I've said it a million times. How you fret the guitar, how hard you push, how you play, that really does affect the intonation. That's why I like to see someone play. That way I can see, are they manhandling the guitar or are they treating it with baby gloves? Because that will affect how you want to intonate the instrument for that person. When I played it and checked it, I couldn't get it perfect. And I always set a little on the flat side. Why do I do that? Well, one, flat is a little more pleasing to the ear, okay? And I find myself playing more aggressive. So setting the intonation to the flat side kind of helps me and my playing characteristics still be close when I'm down here fretting leads. So with that being said, I've always wanted a double cut guitar, okay? I think most people here would know I want a real Gibson Les Paul with P-90s. I would take a Gibson double cut with P-90s. I would. I don't know if Gibson ever made an arch top double cut with P-90s. If they did, that would be my dream guitar. But either the Les Paul or the double cut, I just, even though this guitar, I feel, I haven't really heard it yet, I'm hoping it's going to be Gibson level. Even with that said, it doesn't say Gibson. And I know what you're saying, well, what difference does it make? It's probably no difference. The difference is the price tag. I'm going to have, now everyone put their seat belts on. Probably $700 in this guitar all in, with no labor. I'm guessing. I'd have to do a parts count. With the guitar, shipping, and the parts that I've put in it, probably $700. The only thing I've done is put the strings on it and kind of move the saddles around to figure out which direction they needed to be. But I'm hoping it turns out good. And that's what tonight's video is about. We are going to finish setting up this guitar. Oh, something else, we put really nice tuners on this guitar because it doesn't have a locking nut, so I put Goto locking tuners, and these are the stubbies. So when you order Gotos, make sure you look. Okay, if you want the long shaft, it'll say long shaft or short shaft. If it doesn't say either, copy the product number down and go to Godot's website and see if it's a short shaft or a long shaft. The difference is right there. Now it's a locking tuner. You can see I don't even have 1 full wrap on any of those strings. 3/4 of a wrap is the max that I've got on any of those strings. It's fine. When you string it, pull your string through and have the hole facing the nut. Pull the string through, and when it's down even with the neck, okay, tighten the locker. Tune it. You don't need those wraps. It's a locking tuner. So what I want to do, I want to kind of go over what I've done to the guitar. And I only have 2 cameras, guys. So I'm going to look at this screen and I'm going to move that camera over to a position where we can actually, I can move this is a small channel. So if you like channels that everything is seamless and smooth and they push a button, maybe one day this channel will be here. But right now, we try to do good content. If you can look over the image quality not being 6K, it's 1080p, and you can look over the audio, because I'm only using 2 basic microphones, I believe this channel has something to offer that other channels don't do. So I'm going to move that camera and we're actually going to set it to where we can look at this bridge here. And then I can talk to you from the other camera. So I'm going to move this one over to the guitar. And my other camera is actually way over here, but you get the point. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to look at this bridge right here, so I am going to switch back. So if we look at this bridge, we can see there's a little nut right here, okay? Right, see the locking nut? There's a hole in the bridge here and here. So this saddle can be flipped around and this brass roller can move back and forth. So right now in this position with the nut here, if you look at how the saddle's made, it's made like a Floyd Rose bridge. It's cut out in a circle, and that allows this saddle to move back and forth. Okay, now here is the trick part. I want you to look down in this hole right there. There is a set screw on this side and a set screw on this side. See how this hole is oblonged? So not only can you adjust these saddles back and forth this way with a hole here and a hole here flipping the saddle, you can also move the whole tailpiece forward and backwards.
What is the measurement from the nut close to the fretboard to the center posts of the bridge?
The nut, now Linnell is just, I'm going to switch cameras here. I'm going to pull up YouTube. What is the measurement from the nut closest to the fretboard to the center post of the bridge? I'm guessing you're wanting to know the scale length. This technically is a 24.75 scale length. And I'm looking for my tape measure. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've been losing a lot. I do have a tape measure. I just don't know if I have one nearby. Let me double check.
You have one at the end of the cabinet.
And I think we took it out in the truck. And I think all the tape measures in the truck went to the trailer.
It's right there on the cabinet.
Oh. Linnell to the rescue again. So let me see, what is the measurement from the nut to the closest? All right, to the closest. Now I wanna say something, and this kind of screwed me up. If you look at these saddles, I'm used to the E being closest, then this one steps back a little bit, then this one steps back, and then this one sets forward, this one sets back, sets back. All right, don't necessarily get used to that, because remember, this whole bridge, I don't have this one set to the center post. Okay? Now, when I did it, I had this centered, and I noticed this saddle was hitting right in between both of these screws. I could have got it with the saddle flipped around this way or that way. So I decided to push the bridge in this direction so this saddle would go more to the face side of this bridge. So that'll change what this looks like. But if you look, it's set like that. So you have to keep that in mind as well, and not just look at this line to the face of the saddle. So I'll give you a measurement from the back of the nut, and I've only done a basic intonation, just got it close, it's not perfect. To the center of the brass saddle, we have 24 and 13/16 on the E. The A is just a fraction under, about a 64th under. Don't ask me what that, pull that 64th out of my head. On that one, we're about a 32nd of an inch past 24 3/4. Again, about a 32nd of an inch past 3/4. Our B, I'm going to say that that one is right at 24 3/4. And our high E seems to be just a fraction past 24 3/4. So you can see the tape hopefully there. So hopefully that answers the question, and I'll look and make sure. So now what I want to do, I want to attempt, so you guys can see, because we're a budget channel here. So I'm going to go through, like I said, I've kind of already just lightly went through it, so I just want to double check. And as you put tension on the strings, that of course changes the relief in the neck. Okay, if the neck bends this way, it does change the distance. Now, before anyone says, I know it's what, 64th of an inch, 128th of an inch, it does change the distance, because it's no longer a straight line, it's arced. So it can affect the intonation of the guitar when you make neck adjustments. Now, I just want to do a basic setup. I want to have somewhere as a reference, and that's what I did earlier. Okay, we have a reference. So here's our E, and I'm going to switch cameras. So there's our E. And I'm going to give it a little bit of a tune. Now I'm going to go E on the 12th. You can see that's very close. There's our A. And give it a little tune here. And that's extremely close as well. And remember what I said. Now I'm gonna deliberately throw the A out. I'm gonna push light then hard. Here's our open. There's hard. There's extremely light. And I'm still fretting the note. There it's kind of making a buzz sound. And I'm gradually pushing See how I'm trying to get it in the center. And I know by the way I play and how I set the intonation that that's pretty decent. That's a good average pressure. But when someone says it's perfect by the pressure that they're applying. So there's D. You can see our D is a little flat. Now I'm going to push hard. Now pushing hard, I can get it to go just a little sharp. So that means in my little squirrel brain, the way I set things, that means I need to do an adjustment, because as I push hard, I can barely get it to go out of whack. So that saddle needs to move forward just a little bit. So let's go to our next string. Let's check our G. Is that string bad? No, it's not horrible. Now I'm going to push hard, and I'm going to try to push light. Yeah, G's pretty good. Let's check our B. Now I'm going to start varying the pressure and just double check it. Hard. Now I'm going to try to push it as light as I can. Hard. So that's about in the center. That's what you need to do when you're checking your intonation. Make sure you're not bring it up. Now I'm going to push hard. There, it kind of frets out right there. So that's about center too. So I would only really adjust one of the strings. You know, for what we're doing tonight, that's close enough. Now what we want to do is I want to look at how the neck is taking the strings being at full pressure. There are people, and I kind of agree with it, there's a sequence that you do your work, and it means you'll have to go back and do less work. That way you're not chasing your tail. And there is a little relief in this neck. Yeah, I'm going to say it's about 0.7 to 0.8 millimeters. So for me, that's a little excessive. You know, some people, everyone's different. So let's just play the guitar. Let's see what the guitar sounds like if we actually play it. So I'm going to move this camera again. Let's move it back. And I'm just going to do a guesstimation that that's correct. That way it doesn't cut my head off. So I have the guitar plugged in to our little Yamaha amp. So this will be my first time hearing it, just along with you guys. And if you're curious, these are Dylan P-90 pickups.
Got a $5 super chat from Devastator.
Ooh, thank you, Mr. Devastator. So these are the Dylan P-90 pickups. I would say, you know, see more Duncan in these. This guitar just has a great feel. And I need to turn down my rack over here because I can't have any room volume. That will influence what you guys hear. And of course I am going to play these P90s with high gain to start with. They are sweet. Okay, we do have a tone knob. So let's roll the tone back. So that's maxed. And what you're hearing is a bad chord. I'm hearing this channel go out. I really need to buy a new chord. So let's put it in the center position. So this is both pickups. And if you can see right here, that chord is going out. Let's go up to our neck position. These are brand new strings. When I say brand new, I put the last string on this guitar about 5 minutes before I hit the go button on the string. So they're not even played in. This is playing them in. So let's cut the gain back a little bit. Because if you're doing P90s, most likely you're not going to be doing high gain. Maybe you're wanting something that's like an in-between gain. they sound really good. Here's our bridge pickup. Swell our tone back just a fraction. I really like the sound of this guitar.
You got a super chat from Gabriel.
From who?
Gabriel.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gabriel. Here's both pickups. I'll just grab another pick. How about that? Uh-oh. Nick, they're gonna kick my butt. Now I'm gonna use a green pick. Okay, let's go to Crunch. That was the lead channel. I don't know what you guys hear, but I'm happy. Let's try our center position. That's a nice sounding guitar. Here's our neck position. They're very responsive. You dig into them, they break up, but if you play nice, it sounds really good. Let's cut the tone back just a little bit on the bridge. I'd say it's a winner.
Did you put a question in Discord?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go back to the... We're going to hit Discord here in a couple seconds. This is back to the high gain channel. Yes, I know it's a fraction out of tune. These are brand new strings. Just started playing, it hadn't been played. But in reality, it's doing a great job. That's what I kind of like about the P-90. You can get that real light crunch sound, and then you can just go all out balls to the wall high gain distortion with them. And I'm not getting, you're not hearing you don't see me rolling the volume back because the amp and the pickups are so noisy. I watch a lot of channels, yeah, they got a great tone, but they're like, oh! As soon as they're done playing, they cut that because their amp is just so, or whatever they got going on. I get it, but you should be able to get those tones and not have your amplifier act like it's going to cut your head off and you got to roll down the tone or the volume. I do it with my rack. You can use a gate, you can do other things. Now people are, oh, I use a gate, I'll lose all the, you're right, it does, it changes the signal. Cut it back a little bit, find other ways of getting that gain out of your amplifier before it just oversaturates to the point where you're rolling the volumes back. Even when I play my rack mount amp at stupid high, you know, stacking 3 preamp channels, I don't have that issue. So here it is on clean. That's bridge tone all the way up. That's tone about 15%. About half. It's got a nice sound. Here's in center position. I'm sorry, guys. I love humbuckers, okay, I really do. But a P-90 just has something that a single coil doesn't have and a humbucker doesn't have. It is a mixture of the two. I love the sparkle a single coil has, but it has no, you know what I mean? It just doesn't have the punch, I don't know what you call it. The humbucker, it smacks you in the face, but a lot of times it loses its clarity, and it's almost like imaging. The P-90 is kind of like in between the two. You still get that. Hear how that? It still has that high-end clarity and crystal sound, but when you get into the low, it still has that bottom when you get into the That's just me. Now, there's no pickguard on this guitar for two reasons. These are Dylan Talk Tone pickups, and if Dylan ever watches this video, which I doubt he will, dude, you build some freaking awesome pickups. This is my first set, and I'd played a set once before. This is the first set that I bought off of him. I bought these, maybe a year ago off of him. And this guitar should have been done a long time ago, but I got busy between work and guitars here at the shop. Just didn't have the time to get back to it. So a shout out to him. He builds some phenomenal P-90 pickups. I don't know how it translates across the compression and YouTube, and I'm also playing this through a $329 Yamaha amplifier. So, but in here, what I hear in my headphones, it sounds phenomenal. I can't wait to hook it up to my real tube amp to where it's not as compressed by a modeler, where you've got the full spectrum of the valve preamp and the valve power amp. I'm a valve guy. Okay, I'm not saying everything has its place, guys, but it sounds phenomenal through a modeler. So what's a modeler do? It's modeling a valve amp. So it's going to sound better through my valve amp. Okay, we're going to set this off to the side real quick, guys. I'm actually going to turn off my little amp. But the big thing, if you wire the guitar properly, if you go to Discord, if you're not on our Discord server, go to Discord. Over the last 3 days, I've been posting pictures of the wiring on this guitar. Right here. Now, the main cable coming out of the jack, it's a hot and a ground. So coming right out of the jack, it grounds to this pot. But the hot cable coming out of the switch, the back side of the switch, all the way down to that jack, has a braided ground wire wrapped around it. That wire is bonded to the jack, okay? Then I've put shrink tube over the whole wire, that's the wire right here, and that braided cable stops 1/4 of an inch before it solders to this switch. And that shrink tube goes all the way to the end switch. That way it can never ground out. Any jump cable that's an active single cable is done in that fashion in this guitar, okay? Half the wiring is PVC jacketed, shielded cable. The other half is a traditional wire over felt cloth shielding. That's how Dylan does his pickups. It's very traditional. These are orange drop .033 caps. And we do actually have my custom made tone bleeds. Tone bleeds aren't hard, guys. They really aren't. It literally takes about $1.50 in components to make a tone bleed. So if you can find what you like, don't go, well, this guy's using this. The resistor and the cap kind of work together. So there's 50,000 different variables, I guess. I have yet to play one that I just hated. I do like this combination the best that I've got in this guitar. And I wrote down, I'd have to go to Discord to look what combination I used on this. But as you roll your tone, your volume down, you don't lose, it doesn't darken. It should be a very even decrease in your volume. Some people don't like that. Some people, they like that tone change when they roll that volume back. They lose a little gain, it cleans up, and it darkens. They actually like that. If you're one of those players, a tone bleed is not for you. But if you're one of those players that wants to retain as close as possible, the tone that you're getting as you turn down the volume, then maybe you should look at a tone bleed. Put one in. If you don't like it, don't throw it under the bus. Write down what it was, what the resistor was, and what the capacitor was. When you purchase another one, make sure that it is not the same, and try that one. They're all going to be a little different, so don't get one that is really close to the one you just got. Get something that's way out in left field compared to what you just got. If it's the exact opposite, it went one way or the other, and it's too dark, now it's too bright, then you know to kind of go somewhere in the center. Does that make sense? So don't make a little change. Make a big change so your ears can hear it. And then base your third one on that. I know that's kind of wasting money. But if you don't make enough of a change, your ears aren't going to be able to hear the difference. Oh, they all suck. Just make a big change if you don't like the first one. All right, I'm going to set this guy right here. And I'm going to switch camera angles. So I heard there was a Discord thing. So I am going to open up Discord. Questions and topics for a live stream.
You already read Steve's, so it's Juice.
Yep, I'm going to switch to display screen. So, Steve's I've already answered. We measured that. So here's our next question. It's from Juke. Avery, your thoughts on a Gibson tailpiece or like the one you're using now? I've seen they are wrapped the strings around the tailpiece like those and benefit of nonsense. Basically, what they're doing, you can wrap the string around the tailpiece on this one too. Why they did that is the original Gibsons, the tailpiece was kind of fixed, okay? So if you put the string in on this side and you fish it through and then wrap it around the top, it changes the rake angle. Do you see the angle of the strings here before it goes over the roller ball? So if I put the string in on this side and I bring it over the back side of this tailpiece, you can see that now the string is doing this. See the difference between the string, where it is now, and where it would be if it went over? It changes the rake angle. The rake angle can affect how the guitar bends. It affects a lot of different things. You just have to do it, okay? And the rake angle will change the intonation. Everything changes your intonation. Just wrap it around it, see if it's close, and play it. See if you like it. It may not be for you, but they had issues with it catching here. This is a roller ball, so I'll never have a problem with that. So the rake angle does change the way the string feels. It also, moving this block, remember what we were saying earlier, back and forth? Changing this distance between the tailpiece and here will also change the way the string feels. That's why if you look at some of the guitars that have this tailpiece that are string through body, the holes aren't straight. They'll change the distance between the tailpiece and where it goes through the body. That's to get all the strings to have about the same feel as far as pressure. So look at any string through guitar that has a bridge like this, like Ibanez does it, some other companies do it. The IYV that we're thinking about ordering for review has a tailpiece like this, and then the string comes back, goes through the body. I'm not sure if that one's straight or if they've staggered those, but that's all about string pressure. It also changes the string pressure by bringing that string over the top. But when you do that, instead of the string nut going in back here, you put it in the front, okay? You're going to put the string in here, Okay, and this you're gonna put the nut here, pull it this way, and then go over top of the bridge, and then across the saddle. Guitar players did it for a reason. String pressure, intonation issues. I'm sure someone else in the chat can come up with another reason why they did it. But it's, in my opinion, it was more about string pressure, you know. But if someone else knows another reason, you can put it there. You could set it up either way you want. With this being a roller bridge, I elected to come through the back and not wrap the strings around the tailpiece. So hopefully that answers the question. I don't want to ever come across as there's a reason why certain people do certain things. There's always a reason. Whether they must hear a difference, or their playing style, or whatever it may be. And people swear by it. Oh, I'll only do this. There's a reason for it. You might try it and dislike it. But to understand, like, I would like to know who was the first person that did it. Was there a problem with the instrument, and that was their way of correcting whatever problem they felt was there? Or was it something else? If someone does, it would be an interesting conversation to have. But that's how I see it. I'm sure there's a backstory to it. I'm just like you guys, you know. I work during the day to make a living, and music is my passion. I love music. I like playing this 6-stringed instrument. I mean, I don't even really want to put the pickguard back on this, but it has holes.
What knobs are you going with?
That's another question. I can't use the factory knobs because the pots and all are different. I had to re-drill the guitar to get the CTS pots through it. I don't know. A guitar like this probably should have some kind of speed knob or Gibson S type knob. I don't know. It will be either a plastic like speed knob or a chrome type knob. I want to keep it vintagey looking, if that makes sense. So I need to shop, but the factory knobs won't fit. And I got to get me a, you know, when you buy the Switchcraft switch, you would think spending that kind of money that they'd give you the little no. That's $6 more.
24 splines.
Yeah, this is the US style. So the spline count is different. So I gotta get knobs for it. But the pick guard, back to the pick guard. The pick guard comes like this. Okay? I got it. I brought it up. So here's the pick guard. And the problem I'm having with the pick guard is right here. The Dylan pickups, the cover is just a fraction wider. Just a fraction wider. So when I go to put this in, I can feel it like this cutout right here. When I go to put it around that pickup, it's less than a 30-second. Could I force it? I could probably make it work. But I'm going to take and make a jig and just go across this surface, well, this surface, and this surface. And I'm going to take a 1/64 of an inch off of each surface and see if that gets it done. But that's what it looks like with the pick guard on it. I like it so much better without the pick guard. You know, they drilled holes in it. Unless I plan on doing a complete refinish, I'm kind of stuck with the pick guard.
Blue Monk said straight edge and a razor knife.
Yeah. I thought about putting it on a press and drilling this out with a Forstner bit and insetting like mother of pearl dots or something. But it's still gonna be, people are gonna go, oh, well, he just filled in the holes for the pick guard. I don't know. I'll probably just cut the pick guard and put it back on. But I love the look of it without the pick guard.
Yeah, Blue Moss agrees with that, leave it off.
Yeah, it's just, you can see the holes.
Birdman said amber top hats for the knobs. Box said fuzzy dice knobs.
Yeah,
And, Steve said vintage witch hat knobs would look classy.
yeah, there's a bunch of different ones. I think all those are good suggestion, guys. They really are. You know what else I could do? If I could, I know Dylan Talks Tone does it. I could probably send him this pick guard, and he has a small machine. If I try to do this on my machine, it's going to throw it across the shop. I'm just being, yeah, nah. We have fixtures that holds the parts down to the table. We don't have a vacuum table, so the only way I could do this is I'd have to use double-sided sticky tape, stick it on the spool board, and do it. But I could send this to Dylan. He might be able to fab me up a clear, I think maybe a clear pick guard with silver screws.
Yeah, Birdman said a clear board.
Yeah, that might be cool. But I'll have to have him, that way he can, he'll laser this. He's basically using like a CAD program, and it lasers this and it does all the work for him. And then I can tell him that I need, X amount of space off of this, and then the machine would cut it out. Whoop, the machine would cut it out for me, or for him. I should probably email him about that. That would be cool.
Jupe said just use some of Linnell's yellowish nail polish.
I do have trying to get the pick guard. I do have a, what's called a mini SATA jet, and you guys can Google that if you want. It's a very high-end sprayer. I have that, I have a Spider, and I have a Kremlin M21. So I am set up with pressure pots and stuff. I could I could spray the guitar again. It's just a tremendous amount of work to spray one guitar.
Did you hear me?
What's that, honey?
Jupe said just use some of my yellowish nail polish.
Oh, nail polish. Yeah, I got the headphones on. I don't need them now. I haven't been playing. I kind of got used to Linnell having a mic, so I was trying to keep the headphones on in case she talks, but the headphones are blocking me from hearing her. Oh, this channel is getting better, though. Hey, in my squirrel brain, it's getting better. Okay, it's got to be close to the 1 hour. Look at that, 1 hour and 4 minutes according to ScrewTube. So if you're familiar with the channel, we're going to take a little bit of a break. It allows me to get something to drink, use the restroom. For you guys can do the restroom, get some vittles, get your drinks, and then you can discuss what you feel you would have done different with the guitar. It's CTS pots with tone bleeds, 033 caps, Dylan Talks Tone pickups, and I did the best fret level that I could possibly do on the guitar. I broke the edges on the necks. All those videos are on my main page. If you go to Guitar Mods, you'll see FFDC. There's 3 videos. I had 4 fingers, 3 fingers, 3 videos on doing the neck work on that guitar. It plays fantastic. It definitely has the sound I was looking for. It's a great instrument. How many people put $500 worth of parts in a $200 guitar? If you can't afford a $5,000 or $3,000 to $5,000 Gibson, this is what you do. You find a good one, whether it's Harley Benton, Firefly. I don't care the manufacturer, because don't give them any credit. Whoever it is, because you're going to rebuild that instrument. You're looking for the best they can make. They make bad ones, they make good ones, and they make great ones. It depends on which one you get. This one was already a fantastic playing instrument. If you start with something good, you're going to end up with something really good, if that makes sense. Because if you get a guitar, and it's a budget guitar, and there's a lot of fret errors, and you have to sand those frets down to fix whatever they messed up at the factory, you're losing material on those frets. Can you fix it? Absolutely, you can fix it. But if you start with a good one, and you have to do very little work to get it perfect, that's the one you want to start with, if that makes sense. That way you're not chewing up brand new frets. So start with something good, and you're going to end up with a really good instrument. Is doing that for everybody? No, there's going to be some guys that will come up, oh my God, he's got $750 on a Firefly. He could have bought an Epiphone or an AO or AIO or something like that, and it would have been cheaper, or he wouldn't have had to do the work. It wouldn't have been as good. That I don't even have the setup done yet. We haven't adjusted the truss rod. Still needs one saddle moved. Other than that, I don't think I'm going to touch it. I think I'm going to move that one saddle just a little bit, give it a truss rod adjustment. I'm going to play the guitar and make sure that I like it. Another advantage to these movable saddles, you can change the arc of that bridge very easily. There's a shim that goes under each saddle. So if I decide that I want to flatten or put more radius or whatever I need to do, I can do that with this bridge. Okay, because the whole saddle pops up and you can put the shim under it and then the bolt back through it, so you can adjust it. A lot of ABR adjustable bridges like that, even the ones with the roller bearings like these, you can't pull the whole saddle. It's not designed for a shim to go underneath of it. This one is. This is truly a nice bridge. Not only are the saddles adjustable, but the whole tailpiece can move back and forth like this on the slot. Extremely nice bridge. Plus, I put the Godo locking tuners on it. They feel smooth, sweet. There's really nothing else to do to the guitar. There's nothing that you could do to the guitar to really take it to another level. Unless you bought some one-off, super customized. But for standardized stuff, I don't even call Dylan Pickups standard, because he's a boutique builder. Him and his wife hand wind every pickup. They touch every pickup. They wrap it, they put it in the box, they send it. That's a boutique builder. I think that's as good as you could get that guitar. Anyway, guys, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Like I said, hit the restroom, get something to drink, do that. If we're a little over 5, I apologize, but 5 is a little tough for me to get something to drink, use the restroom. It's kind of pushing it. But when we come back, I want to talk about our next project. And we actually have another guitar that is done and is ready to make its debut on the channel that's been here for probably 6 months. It's time for this guitar to get back to its owner. And if you don't know which guitar I'm talking about, you'll find out when we come back. But the guitar is complete, and I'm just waiting to make sure that it takes all the modifications with the string pressure, neck, and all that. Of course, all that changes when you ship it, but I want to make sure that it is as good as I can get it while it's here. That way, the only thing the owner will have to do is maybe a slight truss rod adjustment. All right, give it 5 minutes and we'll be right back, guys. All right, we are back, and I'm gonna scoot this around more like this, even though the microphone's facing that direction. Linnell just brought up something that she's having issues sending direct messages or messages in the channel chat, and I myself typed one in, and when I hit it, it didn't post it. It took it a minute before what I typed in just now for it to appear.
Mine pops up error.
And hers popped up error. So if you're having issues, that's something that you guys can reach out to YouTube and saying, hey, during a live chat, how come I'm getting an error message or my chat message isn't coming up? I know the other week comments were disabled, and I find that peculiar because I have two settings. I have a Thursday night setting and I have a Saturday night setting, and I reuse those settings every week. Devastator brought up, hey, you got comments disabled. I had to go back in after the live and figure out how to re-enable that to make it work. So if that's the case, please let me know. You actually have to leave the stream, I think, to be able to make a comment. I don't know how that works, or comments are disabled until the stream is ended. I'm not too sure. But if you have that issue, let me know through Discord, and then I can go in and fix it. I want to just say thanks to everyone that comes each week to this small get-together. It's a very, I feel everyone here is kind of like family. I know the personalities of everyone. Everyone gets along. It's fun for Thursday night and Saturday night for us to get together and hang out. And I hope you guys enjoy the projects that we do on the channel. Yep, see now YouTube, this page is having a problem. Evidently, it's still streaming because I'm not getting an error in OSB or OBS, but I am going to have to close YouTube and then actually go back into YouTube and find my stream section. So I got to go to View Channel, Manage Videos, Live. So it's either a bit rate or YouTube is having some issues tonight. One of the two. All right, our next guitar. This guitar we've done a lot of videos on, and I did actually get the guitar complete, and I want to show you the guitar. So this is Jupe's Schecter. And if you don't know what was done to the guitar, right here on the very end of the headstock, there was a huge chip right here. It come down about 1/4 inch. Big chip in the finish. So we have redone that. You can see the headstock's all shiny. I like shiny. So that was one repair that we did on this guitar, fix the headstock. We also recut and reshaped the back of the neck on this guitar. Now it is in between a Schecter and an Ibanez Wizard neck. This guitar has 3 coats of tried and true on it, and it is butter smooth. And we reshaped this to match the body. Originally, this had a good 1/4 inch flat spot right here where the neck come out and then was cut to the neck. So I have cut all that out of the neck and brought it right to the heel of the body of the guitar. Okay. We put a DiMarzio, I believe this is a 6057, area 57. You have to go to Discord and go to the guitar and equipment room when I posted what this was. And then this is a Jason Becker humbucker. And then this pickup here is the stock Schecter. And the volume is a push-pull. So on the volume, when you push-pull this, the Jason Becker goes to a single coil. So this coil is active in the single coil, okay, single coil mode. So in the second position, with this pulled, this pickup and this pickup is wired in series. So it becomes a humbucker, okay? So the signal goes into this one, and the out, the send, north, south, whatever, it goes, instead of this going to ground, it comes right into the hot of this pickup, and then this one goes out in the second position, if that makes sense. When you push this down, it sends this pickup and this pickup together, okay? So it's not running and then into this one with 3 coils. It comes in, out of the humbucker to ground, and then in, then to ground. Little trick wiring going on. Third position, just this pickup. Second position, both these pickups, single coil, both going to ground, but it combines them, if that makes sense. Third position is just the area pickup, the DiMarzio. We did build a custom bridge for this guitar. So this is a Floyd Rose 1000 base plate with posts to match. They're FR 1000 posts and plate. This is the cast stainless steel saddle set. It actually has a turbo bar, and the difference between the turbo bar and a regular Floyd Rose bar is it has 2 different things that it rides on. If you notice how it's made, it has a small end piece. So both of these shoulders make engagement inside the tremolo housing, which stiffens it up a little bit. We're not done. It's a very, very, very trick tremolo here. Now some people like brass, some people like steel. This particular guitar has a very large brass block. Now I'm going to try to get close. If you look at this claw, look at how beefy that claw is. You're going to see 2 screws right here. Okay? These 2 screws hold the secondary piece of brass which pinches the springs. So it's a locking claw. Lots of mass in that claw. And since it locks the spring, all that resonation, vibration from these springs transfer to the claw to the body. Notice we're only using 2 springs. These are 2 heavy gauge springs. And the reason I did that, I played around with springs and I played around with springs, and I wanted the tremolo to have a flutter. But I didn't want it to be so hard where you were like with the bar trying to get it. So this is a good in-between setting. It's a nice floaty feel. So if you set the bridge to where it just barely swings, you can still get a little flutter. Okay? But allows the bar to flip around. Then we also have some brand new tuners. These are lockers. Very smooth. So the guitar has been rebuilt. Oh, and this is a Goth locking nut and a Goth string tree. And the string tree has been set to where when you tune the instrument and you lock down the locker, okay, it does not change the tune of the guitar. We did a full level and dress, and this guitar got my double chamfered ends. So this, the frets feel just like little bumps. There's no anything to it. This is what I do when the customer says, I want the best fret job you can give me. I dress the frets like this. So I'll try to get in close. and you can see the little half moon that appears. Very nice frets. It's dressed like a ball end, but it's not a ball end. Now, I've noticed something with this Jason Becker pickup. It can get ballsy. It can. But it doesn't seem to get ballsy unless you really push it, if that makes sense. That's just what I've been kind of feeling on the instrument. It really likes medium gain, crunch, and stuff like that. On high gain, you really got to push it to get it to distort. And there's our clean. And my chord is dead. You can hear it crackling. It might not make it tonight. That may be something I have to order this week. Yeah, it's going to fail before we get through the night. So that's our Jason Becker. Oh, something I forgot to mention. Our treble is a push-pull too. So in the down position, it's a .047. And when you pull it up, it's .033. And it does make a little bit of a difference. A little bit of a subtle change. It makes more of a difference when you start rolling your tone. So he just gives you an option for a little bit more creativity tone-wise. So we're going to leave it in the .047 setting. This is a Schecter, and I do know that he likes to play some rock and music. So that is our position 1. Now here's our trick position. Okay, right now what you're hearing is the humbucker ground. Let me move my mic here. What you're hearing now is the humbucker, and the single is 2 independent pickups. So if I pull this, that changes the configuration and takes it and makes these two a humbucker. sounds kind of cool. All three. Let's go up to our center position. This is the stock Schecter pickup. Let's mix the Schecter with the DiMarzio neck pickup, position 4. This is the, if I can hold the pick, this is supposedly the Strat sweep position, and we're gonna play around with this cap on this position. It makes a nice difference. So let's change the cap. You can hear it gets a little quackier with it up. And here's the DiMarzio. I'm going to leave it in the .033 cap. Actually, I think I'm overgaining just a little bit. Let me turn that back. There we go. Let's go to the .044 setting, or .047, sorry. Let's push it down. So there's all the pickups in high gain. That's .047. Let's pull it up to 033. actually like the Jason Becker on a .033. I think it's not that it's dark on the 047. The 033 just kind of gives it a little bit more clarity. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Devastator. You are officially dethroned. I think it has just a little bit more clarity on the top end. And I'm assuming that's what Jupe wanted. You know, Jason Becker was not a thrash metal player, if that makes sense. He played a lot of medium gain stuff. He didn't use a tremendous amount of distortion. So I think in this particular case, I think it's a little bit more gain. I think if we cut this back a little bit. That's more Jason Becker-ish. That's still a lot of gain. I think that's more Jason Becker-ish if he was going to play something with more punch, if that makes sense. So let's turn it back even more. I think this is where the Jason Becker pickup kind of sings, is in that medium distortion range. We can give it a little bit more gain if you think that's a little light. I think that's where this pickup likes to live. I'm not saying that the high gain was bad. It seems to be very responsive on a medium. That's not a lot of distortion. Because you get, yeah, I just showed you. You can nail this pickup to the wall. It will give you high gain. It just seems like to my ears, it almost cleans up when you strike it soft. But if you dig into it, that's got a nice, even breakup. But what I like most, like I said, you can get it to clean up. It's got a nice breakup. Up to our DiMarzio, the difference when you can inexpensive pickups sound good. They can. I'm not saying inexpensive pickups sound good. Whether this pickup is your cup of tea or not, you have to give it props that it is very responsive. That's what a good pickup. When you spend the extra money to buy a better pickup, it needs to respond to your playing. Does it come to life when you dig into it? Does it soften up when you play soft? A good pickup will do those things. Just like when we were just going over these pickups. They responded to my playing. This Jason Becker, it responds to my playing. That's a good pickup. Now you just need to find a good pickup that fits your sound, okay? The Jason Becker sounds like it likes to live in the medium distortion range. But where a lot of headbangers come to this channel, this pickup will do that, okay? It'll do a lot of different things. It sounds great and clean too. Every pickup has where it likes to live. I'm going to say medium distortion, you know, that's what this pickup likes. But it can live in the high gain world. Okay, let's check out the DiMarzio, because I thought this pickup would be a good combination with what he picked, okay? We had an issue with the neck pickup. It was giving all kinds of funny readings. The ohm reading, it was just, I put it in Discord what it was testing at. It was messed up. So we decided to put this area, I think it's an area 67. I didn't bring the cartridge up here. Very nice pickup from DiMarzio. And you can hear it has some quack to it. It's voiced similar to this Jason Becker. So when I was putting the guitar together and I was testing the pickups, I'm looking at the readings going, there's a problem here. I had guitar heads. Believe it or not, if you're not familiar with guitar head pickups, great budget pickups. They're only cheaper because no one's ever heard of them. It's a good one-off builder. I had a set of those, singles and humbuckers. I had this one and one other pickup. And I'm looking at them going, what's going to be the best? And I believe I had to find something that would do good with the Jason Becker and the stock Schecter pickup. So this is just the DiMarzio. So there is some distortion, a little gain in the channel. And I'm trying to whack it, to give you that change, and then I'm also trying to play it soft. Let's switch it to the .047 cap. You can hear it loses a little bit of its quack. It's a little smoother. I like it. I like that one on the .047. You know, these are things, guys, that you wouldn't know unless you did what I said. If you've got a guitar that you're thinking about putting different pickups in, maybe do yourself a favor, go on Amazon, spend $15 on 4 different caps, and use little clips and change the cap in those pickups. You might be surprised how a cap can drastically change the way your pickup sounds. So let's go to the stock Schecter and the DiMarzio, and we're at the .047 cap. When you're doing pickups, everything has to play well together. Let's switch it to the 033 cap. I like the chirpy, open kind of. It's got a little chirp and a little smack to it, all mixed together. Let's switch it over to clean. This is our DiMarzio. And this is, believe it or not, guys, clean will show you more than distorted tones on what a pickup's doing. That's the 033, 047. Fourth position. Third position. is our trick second position, where we're using this coil and creating a humbucker. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong position. That was humbucker and this pickup. Now it's a humbucker right here. I get confused. And then Jason Becker, this is split, so it's just this pickup. Full-blown humbucker. Let's change caps. Hopefully it's a pretty good demonstration on all the different sounds. Now you guys probably want to hear me abuse the tremolo a little bit. And if you're into flutters, tighten it a little bit so the bar can come back. tremolo works really, really well. I like it to where the bar kind of flops. I'm pretty sure Jupe likes it that way too. The only drawback to a flopping bar, okay, that's about perfect. And the reason I say that is if I pull it up here, it will, but it'll still fall. If you're doing flutters and stuff, the flutter works best when the bar is back here. But when I use it, I want it to fall naturally right there. All in all, I'd say the guitar turned out really, really good. The frets on this guitar were really chewed up. So this guitar was definitely loved by Jupe. He must have played it quite a bit because there were a few frets that were showing a lot of signs of play wear. I don't remember which ones they were, but it was in two locations. I could tell that he liked playing in those two spots. So we leveled the frets down to where I took the bare minimum off the frets to get all the fret wear out. We actually took quite a bit of material off the frets. If I remember correctly, it was right here and down in this location were the two spots where it had the most fret wear. But it did turn out good. If he sends it back to me with that much fret wear again, we'll have to do a refret. But this time he was able to get by. You know, it still has enough meat on the frets where you can dig into it. Oh, thank you so much, Mark. Oh my gosh. If I was as good of a guitar player as I am a guitar tech, I'd be in good shape. or maybe that's vice versa, whichever. I need to practice more. Take the fret file out of that man's hand and force him to practice. I think Jupe's going to be stupid happy with this thing. And there's so many things that Jupe can do. I've already told him when he gets the guitar, he's got another guitar, he's got a Kiesel Carbon, and he says that it feels really stiff when he plays it. So when he gets this guitar, I've already told him, see what you think. Maybe on the Carbon, he can do this scenario. Instead of 3 lower pressure springs, put 2 high pressure springs in. It still gives the same feel, but it's not as stiff feeling here. You don't have to have 3 springs, guys. You can do 2 high pressure springs. You can change the spring length. As the spring stretches, it completely changes the feel. Or you can go with 3 soft, longer springs, okay? And what that does is it's not stretching the spring nearly as much, and it distributes the pressure. There's so many things that you can do to change the feel of your bridge. In this case, playing with what I had downstairs, I thought this particular scenario worked the best. Nice flutter. But it's not so, the tremolo's not tight. I've got a guitar that the tremolo is like, my Alex License. It's a little on the tight side. It's far firmer than this one. And that's my one complaint on that guitar. So I might take that one downstairs. I got several different spring ratios, compressions, lengths, and just go down there and just play around with the spring combinations, the lengths, and trying to get something to where when the bridge is parallel, the bridge has to be parallel to the body. Okay? You get that feel. People go, oh, you're going to get that feel no matter what. Not necessarily. You can balance the tension of the string pressure and the spring pressure, and you can have a stiff feeling bar or a spongy feeling bar. So don't let someone tell you by the time you bring it up and you level it, it's going to be the same. It's not. The ratio, the gauge of the wire that they used to make the coil, how much heat temper is in the spring, the length of the spring, the diameter of the spring, everything. Believe me, there's no golden rule. I wish there was. I wish I could convey to everyone, use these springs in your set. It doesn't work that way. Every route here is a little different. The distance between the claw and here is different. You might not be able to put a larger diameter spring in. You might not have the room. So you've got to go to a smaller diameter spring, and in that case you may have to go to a smaller gauge wire that they made it out of, or a coated spring. So there's so many different ways. I wish I could say, do this and you're going to be fine. There's no magic number. When you go to order springs, pull one spring out of your guitar, measure the length. Get something that's a little firmer, maybe a little longer, a little shorter. Get a couple different kinds of springs and toy with it. Hopefully you nail it the first pass. Odds are you're not. But good news is, if you've got a couple different guitars with different tremolos, they're all going to be different. So just because that spring didn't work in this guitar, it may work in one of your other guitars. So don't get discouraged. Doing and setting up your own instruments, it's fun, and it teaches you more about what you like and where you are in your journey with your guitar right now. It really does. And the more you learn, the more, even if you don't do a lot yourself and you have a tech, doing little things like that and remembering it when you do take it to a guitar tech, it gives him more information. He can better serve you as a tech. I like this guitar. It'll, if you turn the gain up, this thing will. It'll rock and roll. I don't know how the Jason Becker pickup is supposed to be voiced, but it seems to do well at a lot clean. I just think it really sings in the medium distortion range. There's just something, it opens up. It just sounds so lively in the mid distortion range. That doesn't mean it's dead. I mean, the harmonics pour out of this thing. It's it'll it'll crush it too. Ooh, missed that one. I kind of like it. I like when people send me things that I've never put in. It increases my knowledge. If someone else says, hey, I'm thinking about a Jason Becker, and they play thrash metal, I'm probably going to say, it might not be your best pickup for you if you're planning on playing thrash metal. This is a voiced for, I'm going to say, medium gain or medium high gain to clean. That's where it wants to live. And it's very airy sounding. That's where it likes to live. All right, I'm going to look at the time, guys, because I feel that it might be break time. Let me open. I need a computer operator, someone that can help me with the computer. Yeah, we're past break time. No one told me it was break time. How dare you guys? All right, if you're not familiar with the channel and you just kind of slipped in here, this channel is to fix guitars, hot rod, repair, do things like this. Like this guitar that we just finished putting together with Dylan Talk Tone pickups. We're not a demo channel, we're here for product information. If you've bought pickups and you feel that they're the best pickups ever, or someone's making a comment and they play this kind of music, please post. You don't have to be a subscriber to post. We want you to come in, participate, learn, whatever. If it's something I'm talking about, or if you feel that I'm incorrect or you know a better way, please post. We're all going through this journey. We're trying to learn. We want to be better musicians or better techs or whatever it is. That's what the channel's about. We're trying to share that information. But we do take breaks. So this gives you the opportunity to go to the fridge, get a drink, hit the restroom, maybe make a sandwich, do whatever, and then we come back, and then the next series, when we come back, we're gonna go over some, we're not done yet. Well, this was our second guitar we finished this week, and then the DC that we finished, well, almost finished this week. But we've got some parts for another project that we're getting ready to start. And I want to kind of go over that parts list and why I chose to order what I ordered. It's not like me to do what I just did. So when we come back, we're going to dip into that and see what you guys think of that. So it's a 5-minute break, and we'll be right back after this short intermission. You know what I find funny is when people come in and it's intermission or break and they go, is this the first or the second intermission? That means they know the channel. That time I had to take a break, guys. I was starting to shake. I am a diabetic. So, and I felt it coming on while I was playing Jupe's guitar. But I went ahead and said, okay, I need to make it to the thing. And so I had 2 brownies, and the funny honey made me some hot cocoa. So that should definitely bring my sugar up. And I did not have time to actually take my break. So everybody knows that I am a smoker, so I'm just going to go ahead and smoke as we go over the next thing. And now, if you're on Discord, you've kind of already seen this. We have another Firefly to fix. And this Firefly has been the topic of some criticism on not just one YouTube channel, but 2 or 3 YouTube channels that promoted this guitar and just said it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I do like Firefly. I think Firefly builds a nice guitar. They do have hits and they have misses. But all their guitars that use the Floyd Rose bass tremolo, they're going to need some work. You're buying a $250 to $280 guitar with a Floyd Rose. A good Floyd Rose costs that. So you really can't expect to buy the whole guitar for the price of a bridge and expect it to be great. Now, if you do get one, I know for a fact that I know 2 people. Kurt Inscale, or Coots Sturdio, he has one, and he says that his Les Paul, it has the access cut. We had one here on the channel. He says his works pretty good. And believe it or not, that particular guitar I got from Guitar Gardens did work pretty good. It's soft metal though, so it's not going to last for very long. That's the only one that I've gotten out of the box that was decent. Now, Mike, which is a moderator, we don't see Mike too much. He's very busy. Saturday nights is his wife and him's time to go out and you know, enjoy themselves. So we don't see him too much on a Saturday night. But he has the new guitar like Mikey got. I guess it's the FFMN, the new one with the fancy paint job. That one, he claims, out of the box, seems to do pretty well. So maybe it's hit and miss. But our George Lynch Firefly is awful. If you touch the bar, it goes out of tune. So I had to make a choice. Do I buy a base plate and a block and a bunch of other things, or can I source another tremolo for about the same price that I know will be a good tremolo? Well, on the channel, we've already built tremolos. So maybe someone doesn't feel comfortable ordering a bunch of parts and they want a one-stop shop for the 1/60th price. Okay, so what I decided to get, and everyone knows them, the GE 1996T from Goth. We're going to unbox it and check it out, but that's what I decided to go. And this bridge was about 145 bucks. It did not come with a lock nut though. So when you purchase this at the 150-ish price, they kind of go from 170. I actually saw 190 on this one spot. So you should be able to find this bridge for in the 150-ish. If it's $10 lower, $10 above, somewhere in that ballpark. You're most likely going to have to get a locking nut too. A good Goto locking nut, they can be anywhere from $25 to $32, depending on where you source it. So that puts it right in line with our bridges, a little cheaper. Now, keep in mind, this is a stock bridge, so it's got the stock saddles. It's going to have the stock brass block in the back. Is it bad? I don't know. I hear good things about their bridge, so I thought, you know what, we're going to order one and find out what all the hoopla is about. So, as soon as I get done here, we'll open it up and see what it accounts for. Let me open up the chat and see what you guys actually think of this decision. Like I said, I've never bought a out of the box Goto and went to put it in a guitar. So this will be the channel's first with the Goto. We're gonna see. Let me grab the guitar real quick here, and we'll show you the guitar I'm gonna put it in. And if we have any issues, I'll definitely tell you guys. So here's the guitar that has the horrible Floyd Rose bridge in it. If you look at this bridge, it goes out of tune. And just so everyone gets an idea how bad it is, think bad, it's worse. If you're a Floyd Rose hater, this is going to be, see, those Floyd Roses, they suck. Yeah, it does not return to zero. It's not, I'm not even going to mess with it. I'm so tired of, cleaning up the knife edges. Could I take this bridge apart and make it work? I probably could. But I know the metal and the posts and the metal on the base plate, it's soft. It's an inexpensive, this is the cheaper than the Floyd Rose Special bridge. It's just, if you got one and it's working, use it till it doesn't work and then just replace it. I didn't tune the guitar, but in reality, the guitar actually has a pretty decent sound. So I think the guitar is worth putting some money in. It is a Firefly, and this is a George Lynch copy. And before someone says, oh, they're ripping this off, it says Firefly right on the headstock. And that is a Firefly headstock design. They've been using that headstock for over 2 years. It's not an ESP headstock. It's not an LTD headstock. It doesn't say ESP. It doesn't say LTD. It's a Firefly with their headstock with a George Lynch, look. So it's not a direct copy. It's not a Chibson, if that makes sense. So I don't have an issue with a company using their proprietary headstock design, their name, and then doing a copy on the bottom end. I don't have an issue with that. Sire does it. Sire does an awesome Les Paul style guitar, but it's got the Sire headstock. It says Sire on it. That's what they've done. Fireflies put their own little twist on it. Their headstock with their, it's their take on it. Got no issues with it. I have an issue with this. That's not even close to coming back to right. But the guitar has a decent sound. The neck is beautiful on it. It's got a nice flame maple neck on it. It's just the tremolo. And you can't really say, oh, it's an awful guitar. Yeah, the tremolo's awful. But this guitar sent to my door was $310, okay? So, like I tell everyone, you're buying a $310 instrument with a Floyd Rose on it. You can count on having to do something with it. So let's open up what I decided to purchase. Let's give this Godot a look. What do you get with a stock Godot bridge? So let's take a gander here. So here's our bridge. The packaging seems nice. It's got like a little cover there. Here's our box. So in the box, and this is our claw bridge. There's another box here with the tremolo bar going across like that. So let's see how they've got it boxed here. So here's a separate box. So in this little box, we've got some tools. Looks like 4 springs. So that's what's in this one. Our center box looks like it. Oh, there's a manual. The center box, they've kind of got the tremolo bar tucked into this box and the other box. So here's our bar. It looks like it's a push-in style. So I'll set that up there. And they've got this. Yeah, it's taped. I'm still shaking a little bit because of my sugar, guys. I apologize. Is there anything else in there? Nope. So it looks like pretty decent packaging. So here's our tremolo. It looks like we've got 2 adjustment locations for our bridge, for our saddles. Ooh, I definitely like the spring. See the spring here? It's got a huge cutout for our locker to go through. See that? And that's pretty stiff. And then we have our spacer plate, which actually holds our retention spring. And then a very large nut, brass nut here. It looks really nice. And it says Goth Japan on it. The machining and stuff on this looks really nice. Now, this block, it's about the same size as a stock Floyd Rose block. You know, it's not super beefy, but it is a solid brass block. So, I would say I like this block better than what comes on the stock Floyd Roses. The saddles are also a little different. Feeling them, they have a nice feel to them. See how all these edges are chamfered? So it feels nice. It's got a nice feel to it. Feeling our fine tuners? Yeah, it feels nice. It has a good solid feel to it. This is my first full Godot bridge. Okay, I've used some of their parts. I've worked on them, but I've never ordered just a Godot, if that makes sense. So that looks pretty sharp, guys. Again, it's a nice looking bridge. I definitely like what they've done with the springs here, cutting that groove for the locker. And it's got a really nice shim plate, and that goes all the way back to here, or forward to here to support the spring plate. And it's grooved at the top for your springs. And you can see your machining marks for your step downs. It looks very well made. The machining, everything looks really nice. Looking at the knife edges, it looks good. I'm not seeing anything that stands out going, oh, that's cheap. It looks like a nice product. Of course, once we put it in and do some testing, we will know more. Now I kind of destroyed this. This is one-time use tape. Yep, see, it's not even sticky now. So I'm going to have to be careful in the box, because now that little strap is what holds it down to now that I've kind of broken it. So our other little container, our other little thing here, we've got our claw that comes with it. Looking at the gauge metal, I mean, it's not super thick, but it's not a cheap thin one like you'd see on Amazon. So it has a little mass to it. And then down on the bottom of that we have our two posts.
Is there a knife edge missing?
Yeah, it only has one receiving pocket. The other pocket is flat. So you can, if the posts are off a little bit, that's what that's for. Floyd Rose, it's got to be perfect. Now, when we look at the post, see down in there? See, there's an Allen head down inside here. So, if you watch Steve Vai, when they went to the Godot Edge, when Godot made, I don't know if Godot still makes the bridges for him, he did not like the screw in here. He wants to be able to lean down and make adjustments on the fly. The advantage to this little screw down inside here, when you make an adjustment and you move your post up and back, you put your tool in here and there's another threaded piece. And basically what that does, let me spin it out. See it right there? See it sticking out of the bottom? So what that does is when you get this thing adjusted right, this threaded grub screw comes down and makes contact to the base plate in this insert. Okay, and that locks this thing in position. So let's say we set it, and that's exactly where we want it to be. You then turn this inside screw down to where it hits the bottom of the insert, and that locks this post to where it can't spin. You know, some guitars that'll actually rotate and your action will change height. He actually didn't like that because he wanted to be able to pick up a tool right in the middle of playing and put it in there. Not a good idea, but it's really hard on the knife edges. But a lot of people forget about that locking screw. So if you're trying to move that screw and it's not moving, double check it, especially if you're trying to go down. If you're trying to go up, it won't affect. But if you're trying to lower your action It may have one of those lock screws.
What's the cost of that compared to the Vega trim?
The Vega trim is a lot more. The Vega trims that I saw are $250 to $300. I got this one for $150, but it did not come with the lock nut for the top. So by the time you get the lock nut, you're going to have about $180 to $190 in this bridge. And this is a full locking bridge, okay, where the Vega trim isn't. But if you got a Fender Strat or something like, let's say, the Kramer Beretta Special that has the multi-point, I think the Vega trim's the way to go. But if you've got a guitar that already has a locking nut and a Floyd Rose style bridge, this I think, if it works well, like I've been hearing, I think it's an alternative for people that don't want to buy parts. I'm not going to say one thing or the other. This is my first time purchasing something like this, okay, that's direct from Godot. I know when I build tremolos for people, I buy a bunch of loose parts. I do not start with a Floyd Rose tremolo, because if you buy an FR 1000, it's about $240. And then I'm going to upgrade the saddles, upgrade the block, it doesn't make sense. Why buy the bridge? Just buy a bunch of parts. Buy the base plate and the posts off Floyd Rose. Everything else, aftermarket. Or, I also get the Floyd Rose turbo bar. I like that. So those three components. Everything else, I'll go aftermarket. And I can build a bridge for $250 to $300 that's just phenomenal. This will be a little cheaper, okay? It's a little cheaper, and it's one-stop shop. So you don't have to worry about, well, is my block going to work? Do I have the right saddles? Did I order the right screws? Is this claw going to work? Are these springs going to work? This is all made by Godot for this, should be fine. You just got to order your lock nut, and I get that. Some people might need an R3, you might need an R2. What's that, hon?
Jupe has to go, he's got to chop the wood in the morning.
Oh, Jupe's got to leave us. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jupe. I'm ready to send your guitar to you, so hopefully you'll be on Discord tomorrow. And if you don't know, guys, the red guitar that we were just playing, this is Jupe's guitar. And it's about to go home, back to his home. So, I need to get with him tomorrow on Discord. We can get this thing boxed up and get it back to him. And hopefully he's going to like it, because there's been a tremendous amount of changing and alterations done to that guitar. So fingers crossed that he's going to enjoy everything that was done to the guitar. I think it sounds great. But it needs to go to its real owner. He needs to be the one that goes, yes, I like this instrument. So hopefully he's going to like it. And that's why we're doing this. It gives me more of a base, more options if someone asks me, should I do this or should I do this? In Jupe's case, the bridge we built for his guitar is superior to this bridge, without a doubt. It's going to sustain better. It's just a beefier bridge. The claw itself in that guitar is $70 just for that tone claw. I know people are like, $70 for a claw? It's over the top good, if that makes sense. This just has a regular claw. So I'm looking for something that, if you're not spending $400 on a bridge, what can you get in the $150 to $200 range that's going to be a good, suitable replacement bridge for these budget guitars? And I don't even think it's necessarily budget. I know people that put these on $1,200 to $1,600 Jacksons, that just don't like the FR 1000 bridge. They put this on and say that this is a better bridge than the stock FR 1000. It could be. I've got an FR 1500 made out of stainless steel, and I love that bridge. This one is not stainless steel, So it's compared to the FR1000, and it's cheaper. So if you're looking at an FR1000, that's $240. You know, this you're going to be right at $180 to $200, depending on your lock nut. So I wanted to experience this, put one together, put it in a guitar, see how well does it. Is it a direct replacement to a Floyd Rose? Do you need to make changes? I don't know. Is the block right? Is the route going to be right in the guitar? Is the post spacing? You know, hopefully the posts are right. This isn't a Floyd Rose. So where this bridge, where this post is in relation to the fulcrum, okay, where that pivot point is, or that arc, or where that string goes over, you only have so much room. So if I put this in a Floyd Rose bass guitar, is it going to intonate properly? I hear it intonates fine, but that's second hand. That's what I hear from this person or that person. I want to know for sure. Can I take a Goth, the 1996, pull a Floyd Rose, stick this in it, will it intonate? What do I need to do? Do I need to do any extra routing, any changes? I'm going to find out. From what I hear, it's a drop-in replacement. Drop it in, intonate it, go have fun. We're going to find out. And that's the part in learning, guys. I want to spread that knowledge because it's not that I don't trust. Well, I guess it is that I don't trust. I want to know for myself, is it a drop-in or is it not a drop-in? I mean, when I modified Jupe's guitar, we had to modify it. Now I've already painted it all black, but this whole section was cut out much deeper. And I had to route this whole back section back here because this block was so massive, it would not move. It's a massive block. So I had to machine and reroute this whole pocket here, here, and back here. And had to modify a little bit in here. There's pictures on Discord on all that. Then, to get this push-pull was fine. Didn't have to change the routing up here, but this push-pull I had to change the route for this pull to fit in the guitar. So there was a tremendous amount of work. So when people go, yeah, you can put push-pulls on your guitar. You can if there's space. Well, you can if there's not space. You just got to route the room for the push-pull. I mean, I can make that statement too. But if someone doesn't have a router or doesn't feel comfortable, then can you put the push-pull in? No. So this is going to be me trying to figure out whether or not it's a drop-in replacement. But all in all, it looks, the finish on it, it looks like a quality bridge. I have high hopes that this is going to be sweet. And then we also got to look at, I want to replace the nut. The Firefly nuts are, like I said, I think I paid $150 for this bridge, and it's probably going to be about $30 for the new nut. So that's probably going to put me in the $180 range. Then the guitar was $310. So that means using the stock electronics, stock tuners, stock everything, that puts the Firefly George Lynch model basically right under $500. I know Ibanez has a Floyd Rose model at $450. It's the GRG. We looked at it for the giveaway guitar. You're right at that price point.
Steve said, what's the bridge? He missed it.
The bridge is a Godot. So if we had it out and looked at it, at the end of the stream, Steve, you can go back and rewatch. We had it out, looked at the block, looked at the springs. I didn't disassemble it. That'll be in the upcoming videos, and when we'll probably do a live show. I'm really liking the live show. Steve had one of his guitars here, the gentleman that just commented, and I did record all the work. And I started doing the editing on that. And I'll be honest with you, with all the mistakes going a live show, it's so much easier just to do it live. And no one can say, oh, you're hiding this or hiding that or saying or whatever. It's live. You kind of see it. I'm so open and honest about anything. It's the best way of doing it. And I don't have to edit it. Whatever mistakes there are, they're there, if that makes sense. So we are going to process Steve's Donner videos. I'm going to get those up. Sorry. The work, I did record some of the work on the DC, but not all of it. I wanted to get it done, and it takes twice as long to 3 times longer if I video it. It just does. I got done, if I was videotaping this, it would have took 2 weeks. I got it done in a day. It's that's just how it is. Jupe's guitar would have been done much earlier if I didn't tape everything. It slows down everything. I can only record up to 2.5 hours. My memory cards get full on my cameras and they overheat. So I can only work in 2.5 hour increments. So doing a live show works far better. So we'll do a live show. We'll take the tremolo out of the guitar, install the new ones, put new strings on it, and we'll see how it goes. I guess it was about 3 months ago we did a how to build a better bridge. So we've already done that. So now let's see what happens if you just buy a pre-assembled kit. Okay, it's one-stop shop, and see how that works. I think for people buying a budget instrument, this is probably something that they would feel more comfortable doing versus building a whole bridge and installing it. This is, you're only pulling the bridge and installing it and setting the intonation. Probably a little, in my brain I see it as about the same, but in their brain they're going to see it as much simpler because they're not assembling the bridge.
Kurt has to go.
Oh, okay, Mr. Kurt. Thank you so much for coming in, buddy. I was squirrel brain moment there where you go, squirrel! I had to see where your comment was. But that's what we're going to do. Boy, the chat just flying tonight. I like it. When you guys chat like this, that means the chat rate goes through the roof. I really like it. And the emojis kick my butt. I don't get the circus clown, a hammer, a saw, and a guitar. That's what I look like when I'm working on it. I'm a circus clown with a hammer and a fret file. But yeah, so I think that's going to be, I just wanted to do something different, if that makes sense. We've done several guitars on the channel where we built full bridges. I wanted to do something we haven't done before. And I've heard good things about the Godot, so we're going to give it a whirl. And just like any other guitar here, when this guitar is completed, it'll be up for sale. And of course, we're going to do a full demo on it. You guys will get to hear the sound, and then whoever wants the guitar, one subscriber's already said that they were interested in the guitar once it's fixed, but they haven't committed to it yet. So if someone is interested in the George Lynch Firefly, normally what I do is parts, and that's it. My labor's free. So if you decide to buy one, right now it's in stock at Guitar Gardens, you're still going to have to do it. You're going to have to buy the guitar, buy the bridge, exact same. The only difference is if you buy this one, it'll already be updated and fixed. So, and it supports the channel. It just rolls the money to the next project for more information so you guys can see another product. So that's pretty much what we do here. Sorry guys, I gotta take a drink. I've been doing a lot of talking tonight. My sugar has come up, just so you guys know. So, do we have any more questions? I've been doing a lot of talking tonight. I guess it's open forum. Do we have anything on Discord?
I don't know if you have anything else.
Oh, that means I just get to yap, yap, yap now, guys. You give me the open floor, it's not gonna be pretty. Let me cut this one mic down. I think I'm overgaining a little bit. So I think we touched base on everything. Jeep's guitar, the DC guitar, the bridge. Did we get anything else? I'm trying to remember. Did anything else come in?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think anything else has come in, guys. So we're getting them cut down. We are going to be doing the Firefly Les Paul P-90 guitar. I plan on doing some work to that one as well. What's sad is it's pretty much going to get the exact same treatment that this guitar got. I would do the exact same thing. Exact same pickups, exact same, well, pretty much the exact same thing. So maybe I won't until this guitar is done and sold. But the way that one plays, I might not sell it.
Miles said still waiting on that acoustic, Avery.
Oh, you know what? Should I go downstairs and get the acoustic?
Not tonight, it's after 11.
Oh, did you hear that, guys? Someone getting a little cranky. She said, not tonight, it's after 11. See, she can get away with that. She don't have the microphone in there. Question. I am planning on pairing an Alnico 2 neck with a high gain Alnico 5 bridge. Any advice? No, you can mix ceramics with it. You really can. They read the same. So if you know what you like as far as your Henrys and your ohm readings, just pick pickups that you feel are going to be in your sweet spot, wherever that is. As far as voicing, that's hard to know unless you've already heard the pickup. The pickups need to play well together, if that makes sense. The magnets aren't necessarily going to make one sound to where it won't work with the other. They just have to be voiced and be something that works together. Because especially if it's two humbuckers or two singles, or let's say you've got a humbucker single. Let's say you can do it. You can go active on the humbucker, a Nico 5 in the center, and then a ceramic. You can do that. And it can sound fine. You just got to pick what works well with other things, if that makes sense. I don't know. Everyone talks about an Eco 5, but I'll be honest with you, the Ibanez pickups that I like so much, they're ceramic. So I think if you like it, if you like the Alnico 2 sound and it has something that you like, just make sure that it plays well with the other. And then if you're worried about output, if let's say the Alnico 5 just really has a lot of output and the Alnico 2 sounds a little weaker, you can always lower the pickup in the guitar a little bit and raise the Alnico 2 up in the guitar. Maybe if you're not too sure, pick an Alnico 2 or an Alnico 5 that has adjustable poles. That way you can fine tune what the pickup is, what it's sending to your amp. You can get in there and you can lower your mids, bring up your E and A pole, kind of bring up the bass. Exact same thing with the Alnico 2. If it's a little weak, maybe bring all the poles up out of the pickup a little bit. Okay? That will change the sound differently than just raising the pickup. Okay? Because if you don't raise them all the same, the way that little pole works on the winding, you're changing where it is in the magnetic field. So it actually won't sound the same. If I raise all the poles up a 16th, okay, listen to it, then I put them back where they were and raise the whole pickup up a 16th, they shouldn't sound the same. Is it going to be close? It's going to be very close. But you've changed where that pole is in the field. So that does make a change in the sound. You can kind of balance it out a little bit.
You gotta make sure you email Birdman to make sure he has your shipping address.
Ooh, Birdman's going to send us a guitar.
And you have a new question in Discord.
I have a new question in Discord. Let's see what the new question is in Discord. Steve asked, do I plan on redoing the headstock on the DC? Basically what he's talking about on Discord, I didn't want to give Firefly any credit. Okay, even though that this was a good guitar, I was thinking about removing the name up here, machining, taking the guitar apart, cutting the headstock back a little bit, and doing my own little thing right there. I haven't made a decision on that yet. It was a good playing guitar from Firefly. Why I picked this guitar was I ordered 3 of these. Okay, all 3 were good guitars. I'm not going to lie. Now, one was a transparent red, and the grain on the guitar didn't follow the neck. And that was anal, and I called him. I said, look, the grain on the guitar is doing this, and the neck is going like that, and it's transparent red. It looks really stupid. So they took it back. I said, I don't want this thing. Now, they offered me a credit, and I'm like, nah, I don't want a credit. But it played great. It really did. It may have played a little better than this one. I just couldn't get past the grain not following the neck. The other one, it was good too. No problems. I just picked what I thought was the best to do my work on. My thought on that was, if you get one that the frets are almost perfect, you don't have to take much off the frets. If you get one that has a low fret or some real bad frets, and you've got to do a fret level, and you're really cutting into those frets to get that guitar right, it's probably not the best guitar to put a lot of money in. I put a lot of money in this guitar. So I wanted to pick one that I could do a light level, okay, and then recrown and reshape. Just like it as if I put new frets in a guitar. I still got to do a light level no matter what. Now this guitar probably already had a light level. So you want to pick one as good as you possibly can. That way if you keep the guitar, in 10 or 15 years when you wear out the frets, now these are stainless steel, you should never wear them out. But let's say you get one with a nickel and you've put a bunch of money in it. You want enough material on those frets to be able to redo the frets in the future and still have a good... People go, oh, you can redo it. Well, you don't want to nub. You don't want to cut so much off the fret to where next time if you redo it, it's no longer a jumbo fret. So that's why I picked this one. It was the best out of the group. So I don't want to take anything away from Firefly, but I do think that there's nothing Firefly left on the guitar. The guitar has been completely reworked, jigged, all new electronics. It's got some trick wiring, what I call boutique pickups. So to say that it's a Firefly is kind of false advertising. If I play this guitar on the stream, somebody goes, look, he's playing a Firefly, that thing sounds good, and they buy it. It's not going to be like this guitar. It's not. It's not the same guitar anymore. So I feel justified to where I could take the name off and put Joe Smo Guitars on it. No one could say anything because the only thing I'm using is the neck and the body. That's it. In the factory paint. Everything else has been redone. So I don't know what I'll do. Like I said, the Firefly logo doesn't bug me too much. It's just, I think I should, at some point I need to reach out to either Warmworth or one of these other companies and start pricing some necks and bodies and seeing what it would cost to source some just necks and bodies. And I would put the frets in and I would do all the other work paint them, and see if I could start doing some one-off true custom guitars. I have no interest in making my own neck. I could CNC my own bodies, but by the time I set up the CNC and do the glue up, to be honest with you, it'd be kind of stupid to do that when I can buy a really nice body for 150, 200 bucks. I'll have far more money in the body than that if I did it myself. That's just how I see it. Plus, if I spend time doing it and I'm building it, it's not free labor anymore. I've got to charge for it. So if I could get something from Warmworth and it's a good quality product and it keeps the cost down for a custom instrument, that's the way you should go, if that makes sense, or the way I should go. I have no interest in designing something and farming it out to IYV or Firefly or Chibson and then bringing it in, doing a setup on it, and then reselling it. That's not what I'm about. I'm about trying to do something different. And you know, there are 50,000 other luthiers out there, guys, that you can buy instruments from that would be phenomenal instruments. I can't do anything more so than what's already been done, if that makes sense. Not taking anything away from my work, but I don't want to take away from any work that some of these master luthiers across the country and what they do. They do good work. There's a lot of really good people out here building instruments. If you want something like that, I recommend go to these people, double check their past, see what their delivery dates are, make sure everyone's happy. The big thing is talk to the people that wasn't happy. That's where you're going to find out whether the company took care of them or whether they ran around the bush in the yard chasing them until they finally, you know, did do something or didn't do something. So everyone can post a good review, but you got to find out. Customer service isn't selling you the product. Customer service is after you've already got the product and there's a problem. That's how I see it. Okay, guys, I know we're getting way late tonight. I do want to double check the chat window one last time. And I want to thank everyone for coming in, especially the super chats. You guys are great. That really helps the channel. It really does. I can't say that enough. The super chats really help the channel. We're very close. We're getting closer. And I mean by the free guitar giveaway. We're giving away a Fender player. If you want in on the opportunity to win this beautiful guitar, you have to be publicly subscribed to this channel. Go to the Discord, go to the opt-in giveaway room, and say, I want in on the free guitar giveaway. You're entered. You could win an $800 guitar with stupid odds. When we get the entry level that I want, it's stupid odds. It's not like playing the lottery, guys. You've got a hell of a good chance of winning this guitar. You really do. We just did a review on it last Thursday night. You can go back, and it's the Fender Player 1 guitar review. We did a live review on it. I played it, went through the sounds. It's a great guitar. Is a Fender Strat for everybody? No, that's why there's 50,000 other guitars. I picked this guitar because Shenandoah Music in Winchester, Virginia give this channel the opportunity to spend $500. It was $500 of your all's money. I could either buy a $500 full map price guitar, or I could buy this one, and they sold it to me at $500. It's like an $800 some guitar. So I'm like, it's more about trying to give the best instrument I could get for $800. And I feel we accomplished that with this guitar. It's the best instrument for $500 that I could buy. Does that kind of make sense? It's an $800 guitar, got it for $500. If I would have bought a $450 guitar, it's a $450 guitar. This guitar was twice the cost, but Shenandoah Music stepped up and said, yeah, we'll do that for you. Just mention our name. And I do that for them. And if I don't say it enough, support your local music store. When they're gone, you're going to miss them. Trust me, you're going to miss them. whether it's Shenandoah Music or Joe Smo's Guitar Shack. If they're your local shop, go by, introduce yourself, give them the opportunity to earn your business. If they don't do it, and be reasonable. Don't go in and go, oh, it's $1,000 guitar, we take 5. 10%, guys, you should always be able to get. 15%, that's a good deal. You get 20% off, that's a smoking deal. Even in the slow-moving economy guitar market that we have now. 10% they should give you. 15%, and if they won't do that, and it's 10%, it's $100 off. Here's another trick. If you need cables or a strap, if it's a $100 cable, or let's say it's a $100 guitar strap, you want a full leather, they don't have $100 in it, but you still got to pay $100 for it. They may only have 50 or 60 in that strap. If you say, I want that guitar, instead of 10% off, I want that strap for free, they're more apt to do that because technically they're only losing 50. Does that kind of make sense? Either way, if you wanted both products, you're still paying the same. So work with them. When I say work with them, they got to make money too. The tax man comes and they have rent and they have, they got to put food on the table. Go in, give them at least the opportunity to earn your business. So anyway, I want to thank everyone for coming in. You guys are great. I still can't get over how successful I believe the channel has become in the last year. We've almost been doing this for a full year, guys, live streams. So kudos. And like I said, go to Discord, guys. Enter to win the guitar. And even if you don't want to enter, go to Discord. There's great people there. There's always someone in the music room or the jam room or the live chat room. There's always something going on. It's this every night of the week, pretty much. All right, guys. Oh, and guess what? If you've been chatting, you didn't have to be a subscriber. But hopefully, if you've been chatting and you're not a subscriber, you're going to go down. You're going to hit the subscribe button. Go over, hit the bell, hit all. I promise I won't blow up your inbox. We do a maximum of 3 videos a week. Every Thursday live show, every Saturday live show, and sometimes I'll throw a video in, and that's it. You're not going to get a notification every 10 minutes from me. That's not what the channel's about. If there's something going on, it's something that I feel it has some substance. I'm not producing and just slapping stuff up to appease the YouTube AI gods. This is what I try to do for you guys. All right, again, thanks. And we're going to do our 5-minute end scene so everybody can say goodbye and all that. And I'll hopefully see you guys on Discord tomorrow. All right, guys, if I can find the right button. I always get confused on this one. Thursday night, I think it's this one.